So it's been about a month since Battlefield 2042 was launched, and I told you guys on my first impressions video that I would give it a little bit of time before I put my review together, and I was expecting to have it together right about now. Unfortunately, I don't think the game is finished, and I am not comfortable giving an overall 2042 review at this point. I feel like there's going to be some significant changes to the experience in the next 2 months or so, and I think that is due to community feedback. I think they're going to fully implement things that we have been wanting for a long time, and they haven't quite had the time to do that yet, or even address it, and I think that's going to change the entire landscape of the experience. So, for now, I'm going to make this video as an overall update and first impressions, and seeing where Battlefield has been, kind of a timeline and how they've grown and how they have improved over this last month. So if you guys enjoyed today's video, be sure to subscribe, tick the bell. Again, I will have a future proper review when I think the game is, for lack of better words, finished. So for now, we're going to start talking about where it's come. Now, this game really suffered from some early game stress. We had server issues, rubber banding, you name it, right? And as much as I don't like these things, they're standard for a video game launch nowadays. Error codes, rubber banding, server crashes, this is almost always to be expected from almost any video game. I don't punish games for this anymore because it has become basically standard. It sucks as a consumer, but this is not something I necessarily hold against them because almost everybody endures this. That was, for the most part, all resolved within the first few days or so, which is a pretty decent turnaround. Nothing, you know, fancy or anything. So a lot of that was out of the way. Now, over the last 2 or 3 weeks, they've been focusing on overall bug squashing and been really looking at balance, which is a surprise to me. I didn't think they would really be hitting the balance this quick on. I'm okay with this though, right? So over these last few weeks, they've really spent a lot of time looking at hit registration because that was been arguably the worst thing that has been plaguing Battlefield since launch is, well, your bullet's not hitting where you're shooting, and that is obviously a frustrating element, and it has been increasingly attacked and been working on their end for the last couple weeks. And I have to admit that, you know, it's been a month now and they've gone after it every week in their updates, which are routinely on Thursday now, which is honestly amazing. We're now at a point where bullets feel like they hit now, where they feel far more consistent. There are still little issues. We have things like aim assist. You know, it works a little bit, then it's bugged again, and now we're back to the bugged again phase. So that's going to be something they have to work on, and there are mouse input issues that are still out there. Those are two of the bigger problems I think that they're facing, but I think the vast majority of issues that they have honestly had, bugs and visibility, things like that, they have honestly gone after, and those are squashed, and I'm happy with that as a consumer. So I think the team, you know, despite how you feel about this game, I don't think anybody can argue that the team hasn't really been out there. I've been seeing drunks and a bunch of the other guys, not like a bunch of drunks at DICE, that's his name. He is a developer for them, and you know, there's an absolutely wonderful presence of them on social media right now, answering questions and helping people out and giving transparency. And I do want to say that this is refreshing. This is not something that DICE always does. And honestly, the turnaround in the patches, like one every few days, or at minimum once a week, has been amazing, by the way. And that's what I want to see from my teams, right? That's what I want to see as a consumer. And honestly, that is not a normal thing. And the amount of the things that they have thrown into the patches has been honestly admirable. So I want to give them respect on the fact that they've been working towards this game hard, and it is visible. And as somebody that is, you know, involved in the game, I am happy with this. There's still a way to go, obviously, but I think the game is finally in that level where I can go, yeah, this game's cool. I think I can recommend this game now. When the game first came out, I was having fun with it, but I know that the majority were not really pleased with the product. They were like, okay, I'm refunding. I'm gonna wait for a month to see where it is later. And I understand your frustrations because I had the very same frustrations, but the fun that I got out of the game kind of outweighed those, and it made it worth, you know? So I'm at the point now where I have far less frustrating problems right now. You know, gunfights aren't triggering me. There's a lot more balance involved. The vehicles aren't as overwhelming. And, you know, things like the rooftop objectives on breakthroughs, they've really gone after the key elements that the community has been giving them feedback for. And I think the game is in a very good place right now, and it's only going to continue to get better. So I know not everybody's going to be happy with me saying, hey, Battlefield's actually in a pretty decent place right now. And don't even get me started on the balance. Like I said, there's some remarkable things that they've done with this. There's a lot of stuff they have to tune in this game. This is an ambitious game. It definitely has some things stripped. I still to this day don't know why they took out the scoreboard, server browser, and VoIP. And like I said at the start of the video, I think they're going to bring things back in, or at least compromise and find a middle ground. I think we're going to see things like this. There are rumors out there that 8-man squads are coming. So that more of us can play with our friends. There are a lot of talks out there, but I really want to know why they did this. I feel like the community is going to pressure them into making things like Rush a permanent thing. I think 64-man Rush and 64-man Conquest and Breakthrough are going to be a standard inside of All Out Warfare soon. And I think they're going to follow what the community wants with these titles. And that's why I said I don't think Battlefield's finished yet. I think they had this goal, the community's kicked back at it, and we're like, okay, we don't like this. Can we have this instead? And I think eventually we're going to get that instead, you know? So, and this is all just based on my feelings on how receptive they've been of feedback and what they've put in and what they've implemented. But the balance is something that I actually really do feel very comfortable about, because for the first time, and I was one of those guys with like 22 guns in the game. You know, I dealt with it. I was like, whatever, right? But for the first time in Battlefield, I think we have really good gun balance. Right? Like, I don't feel like I can honestly choose almost any of those guns at random and don't feel like I'm at a disadvantage. Yeah, sure, it's great having other Battlefield games where there's like 60 guns. You know what I'm saying? Where there's like 60 guns, but realistically only 10% of those, you know, 5 or 10 of those guns are even meta. And if you choose any of the other 50 guns, you're at a disadvantage. You can still enjoy them, still have fun with them, but you know you're going to suffer to those other 10 guns that are really strong. In this game, I don't necessarily feel that way. There may only be 22 guns. There may only be a handful of guns. But all of these guns are decent against each other, and I think that is, I'm at least assuming that's what they're hoping for, which is probably why they've been attacking the balance side of things so quickly, and they've been extremely responsive with that. So I think they have definitely done some good things with this game. I like the crossplay, and not enough people are talking about how cool it is to finally play with some of our friends. It would be cooler when we have VoIP, don't get me wrong. But I think we're at that point right now with Battlefield. We're at that point where they've squashed most of the bugs. The stressors from an original launch, like the rubber banding and the server problems, those are gone. So we're now at the level where they are finishing up the polish, where we have just a couple more bugs to take care of, and then things are going to be running smooth. Then the first season comes out, and a lot of other people with the DLC are going to come back. The community is going to grow, and more people are going to start trusting this game again. And then they're going to start adding new things in. So I think we're at the mid or back end of the phase where they're polishing and getting the product to an acceptable level to where it's really running. And then they're going to bring back, or at least address, the scoreboards and give us some solutions and honestly implement features that we want in the game. So I think that's phase 2, right? Fixing their problems, doing the responsible thing, the broken elements, the balance issues. That's priority number 1. Priority number 2 is improving the game, and that is by adding in other features. And I think that's the next phase, and that's why I think in the next 2 to 3 months, be it, you know, holidays, they're going to be gone for like a month, we're going to have a lot of attention on new things coming to the game, and I think that's where we're going to see the biggest changes to the 2042 experience. So that is my impression of the game. I absolutely do have a lot of fun with the game. I like Specialists. At first, I was like, I don't know how I feel about Specialists, but now that I've played the game, I think I prefer Specialists to loadouts, and I know I'm probably part of the minority, but I like the versatility there. I like the gadgetry. I like, you know, just mixing it up. It's fun, right? I always had roles in the other game, but I didn't feel like I could be that different and just switch it up that loosely, right? So honestly, I really do like what Battlefield has done with the game. I do like this direction. I don't know if this is the kind of direction that I want forever, but I appreciate it for being something different. I appreciate their ambition at trying to bring in new things. We have new features like crossplay, larger experiences, and though they may not have hit off, right? They may not have nailed it. I do like that they're trying to do something different, which is what Battlefield needs. It needs new eyes on the game. It needs new things to keep up with the competitors out there. And it's all about finding the right balance between the classic old school Battlefield crowd and bringing in the new ones and finding that middle ground. And I think 2042 in time could definitely be that platform to unite and honestly make us all happy. And I don't know, man. I'm just really happy with the game. I just am. I have a lot of fun with it. And in this last month, my frustrations with the game, the things that used to get to me, the lagging, the disconnects, the problems, the server issues, the gun registration, the bullet registration, the objectives on the rooftops, a lot of those things are no longer there, and they are not bothering me, so I am enjoying my experience so much more. So yes, I think 2042 is in a place right now where I could recommend it to friends, or if you maybe started the game and were frustrated with it, maybe download it again. Try it again, see if you feel a little better about it. Give it a chance. You may not, but hey, can't hurt, right? So that is the end of the video. Thank you again for all the support and all the love. I will ultimately have another review when the full product is officially out, when I think it's finally set in stone, its direction, its path, and I will probably have that up in the next couple of months. But until then, continue to enjoy the 2042 content. I will have another video up tomorrow, and look forward to seeing you there.